Hello, my dear students. Yeah, during this pandemic period, we had to go to this kind of online or video learning. Here I'm using OBS software for screen recording. I hope you can hear me clearly. If it is a bad quality, forgive me because this is first time I'm doing such kind of video other than offline classes. So here today what we are going to learn is how to get these kind of outputs. Like it can be used for your conceptual architectural conceptual ideas to be presented. The same things what we can show it in this color also. So we are going to learn two techniques. One is this and one is this. So here we are going to use three softwares. Basically, it will be one SketchUp, um, AutoCAD, and Photoshop. Yeah. So the first image what we are going to do is will be this one. Here we are going to use only SketchUp and AutoCAD. All right. So the thing is, it's very it's everything. It starts with a sketch. Okay. It's not just everything just start to be directly started with directly on the software. So I already had an idea in my mind, so I just wanted to do it and present it digitally. So this was a SketchUp model I made. So you can see how I chosen the frame and everything. So you can at least understand how I have made this one. So each and every block is in component, like how I wanted it to be done or something. So I really wanted to represent something called a housing unit or something. How does it work? So after making this, I've made even I made a small balcony here. um, it's very conceptual, nothing like very real here. And a small railing, a window, another space for spilling out, and a door, another window. Since I've made it in component, I even can change it, change the colors. Okay, so now it looks something like this, right? So I do not want to change it. Going back. Yeah, after this, what I did was I exported this image to 2D graphic model, and there was this dialog, computer application, images for edit. So it should be in JPEG format first. It's already there, one. So what we will do is we'll go back to the Photoshop file, right? So this was the image what we exported before. F7, function F7, I'll get the F7 is a shortcut for layers. So tree silhouettes, I have already made folders like how to do it. So human silhouettes I've made, what is silhouettes? These are called silhouettes, these things. Okay, so these are called silhouettes. If I switch it off, everything will go. If I open the folder, it is like I have segregated each and every images like old man one. So you can see what has happened. Old man two, young man, young lady. So it just for my, better organizing of my data, right? So the same way trees I have made. This was the original file where I actually cut the pieces and kept. So I always keep that as a reference. Um, then layer below the main text, so you can see how the architecture concept is written. Since it is not there, this E and P was not seen, so I had to give another layer which is almost the same silhouette, opacity less for these trees. So when you look into the trees, the opacity is 46. If I increase it, it will become so dark. So I do not want to emphasize on the trees, rather on the building or the concept. So this is what I did. Human silhouettes, it's in 100%. I can actually reduce it more. So why I had made this human silhouettes more in detail and more dark, and why? Because humans are the one who are going to use the space, and the buildings is what we design. So building has a more priority, second the human beings, third the greenery. Yeah, so that's what I have done here. So this is how it is done. So I hope you understand the basic concept of this. Okay. So how do we go get back into this module? How do we get into this one? So this is little more graphical. Like, how would have you are done in architectural graphics or the hand rendering sketches and all. Okay. So this is more of line drawings. You can even change the background color, the color overlay, create a layer behind. Okay. Imagine. So when I Okay, I'll go back to the AutoCAD file, how I worked on it. So first, I'll go into the SketchUp, export 2D graphic model, DWG file, dialogs, computer application. So it's already there. Okay, so I will open it. Export means it will come. So I'm just checking if the video is still recording. Yeah, it's recording, I hope. So this software is not cracked, so I have to wait a little bit time, I guess. Oh, try. It's a So this was the major file. When got this file, these things were not there. These hatches, I would say, these hatches was not there. Like it was just like this. So what I chosen was I just hatched these parts like whether one sort of vertical surfaces which is facing one side will be of certain hatch like this, then some sort of solid hatches to specify certain areas. Then this one, all right. Then what I did was I exported this one as a PDF, right? So it's already there selected. I have drawn a rectangle before because before there was no rectangle. This line wasn't there. Okay, so I had to draw because it defines when I'm working in the Photoshop. So this is going to be the output. Okay, so the same output what I did was I had taken it into Photoshop, okay, on certain A3 file size. So you know that how the image sizes and everything has to be. I've given 300 resolution inches when you see it into it. It was in A3, then I have cropped it. Okay, so this was the original file when I got into this. Even though this looks pretty good, if I can add the same human beings from here, yeah, I'll take this young lady, keep it here. So you know, I can change the color better. Color, change it into red. So red or anything. So I can reduce opacity. Not here. Here I will have to reduce. Yeah. So this is something I wanted to show you. So how did I apply the background color? That is something very interesting that you have to learn. And one more thing, when you are importing this PDF, there is something, how do we import it? So there is something called bounding box. When you're dragging this PDF into it, there is something called bounding box. You should always select bleed box. Okay, then you should import it. Only for PDF, right? So how do I create a new layer? So using marquee tool, I've selected this new layer, background, and I'm going to use some yellow, paste it. So why do you think that human being was gone? It was behind this. So what I'll do is put it above. So this becomes my another presentation of the same object. If I get architecture, why doesn't that come? Because the color you have to change. Architecture, architecture, yeah. So even if I feel like doing it little slanted, like I'm going to change the orientation. You can change the perspective using control key. When I'm pressing the control, the edges will change. Okay, so now I will reduce the size and make it something like this. Architecture for all. Yep. So this is one of the images. I'm going to save this. It looks pretty good. I like this. So that's how we do this. I hope you like this. If any questions, you can ask me directly in the group. Anything.